4 hours of game time for the first playthrough is pretty bad. And I gotta be real with you, that's the only thing that holds up the $60 price tag for this game. Wait until it goes on sale. It's a good game. But guys, there's just one campaign. Yes, there's multiple difficulty modes, but it's one campaign, and your first playthrough, if you know what you're doing, if you've got a pulse inside your body, it is probably the shortest running Resident Evil game. That is with the story and the cutscenes to it as well.
Oh my god!
No, it's not worth 60. It's not worth 60. It's not worth 50. It's not even worth 40. It's maybe 30 max.
But I feel like a lot of people are going to find it overpriced for how much it has to it, you know, because it isn't a whole ton. It's not what you're used to from a $60 experience in terms of its amount of content.
I gotta say, the overall experience was kind of lackluster. First of all, this game ain't scary.
Oh my god!
Wow, I am actually genuinely disappointed with this game.
So again, it's a missed opportunity, and I guess in closing thoughts, RE3 Remake is a fine game, but when it drops down to $30 is when you should fucking pick it up. Not for a full 60, because for a full 60, you're getting a 4-hour campaign. Yes, it's replayable. You can finish it under 2 hours for the S rank, fine. You can play it on a harder difficulty, fine. There's even a shop after you beat it where you can buy infinite ammo and stuff, and that's fine. But let me tell you, that is just not worth 60 by today's standards.
At one point during the stream, I got so bored that I was just punching enemies with Carlos because I just didn't care anymore. And you know what? I did just fine.
By no means is it a bad game, but I feel like most fans are going to be disappointed by it, and I feel coming into it, if you're not already a Resident Evil fan, there's going to be a lot of things you take issue with.
But for me, when I was playing through it, it sort of tricked me into liking it for a long time because it looks gorgeous. The presentation is amazing. The feel of combat, the feel of the characters themselves are awesome. But I just couldn't get away from a bunch of these points that we're going to talk about today that just, for me, drag it down and make it a bit of a disappointment as a whole.
So did the game live up to my expectations? No, not really.
It's Resident Evil 3. It's a 4. It's a 4 out of 10. Yeah, I dropped you a fucking score. Literally just for that last remark about human greed at the end. Yeah, this is a fucking piece of shit. It's a 4 out of 10 at best. This game sucked.
You done fucked it up!
What went so wrong? Oh, fuck me. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to my Resident Evil 3 review. So let's get this right out of the way as quickly as possible. I do have permission from the Rat King himself to use footage of his playthrough.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. It's just like, see, here's the thing. If you're just going to upload my video as is, unmanipulated, yeah, that's worth a copyright strike. Like, you're just re-uploading my shit, unaltered, whatever. If you want to use some of the clips from my videos as reference, cool. You don't even have to tag me. You don't even have to say who I am. You can just use them if it's just a couple second clip.
And for context, I'll only be using him for small clips about his feelings on the game. Like I said in the last video, the journey is similar to mine in terms of how I view the game. While he may play a small part in the intro, he plays a greater role in the review overall and far more than anybody else in the intro. Spoilers and others. I've never really explained why I made this series. Well, to put it simply, I had a lot of faith in this game. So much so that I used my money, that was $60 by the way, on this game rather than like Doom Eternal, which to be honest, I was really stupid for doing. So after sitting on it after a few days, I decided to make a review about it. Because, 1, I paid $60 for that game, 2, no one really explained why it was a disappointment, and I think I can do that, more so than anybody else, without comparing this game to the original RE3. Not only because I haven't played it, but also because I don't think that's the reason why people actually found it to be disappointing. One more thing before I start. I mentioned that I was unbiased as possible in the last video. Let me put that in a bit of a different phrasing. I'll try my best to see both sides of the argument to fully explore this game, and give this review more than one voice. I can guarantee you I will be biased, but that's not what I truly meant. Hopefully that makes sense. Now with that out of the way, spoilers ahead. Alright, let's do this. First section, intro. Let's talk about the banger that is the intro to this game. Let me put this through a different lens. If you're pumped for this game, like most people were, it's hard to not get excited over this intro. It's so good. It takes the cinematic storytelling to its limit. After that, I think some of you may need convincing. So let's go over what makes this good. First, the first person point of view. Not only is this a nice reference to RE7, but this serves to bring the players into this world and to the game itself, blurring reality a little. This is a perfect way to suck your players into this world. Second, the nightmare Jill has is a great way to grab the player's attention and build fear that Jill has. Sadly, it's forgotten, but I'll get to this a bit later on. This also builds upon the creepy atmosphere this game is going for, and some people may disagree with this, but I think this is the scariest part of the game. Slowly turning into a zombie, knowing the only way to stop it is to shoot yourself, could be anyone's fear after the events of RE1. Third, Jaws, that's what I call Nemesis, has literally the best introduction that a main antagonist should have. It's to the point, it's thrilling, and he's relentless. I wish he was like this through the whole game, but I'd like to get to that later on. But for now, this is a brilliant way to begin the story and the game as a whole. The only criticism I can see is that there isn't enough gameplay, which I understand, but I think this is a worthy trade-off for a good intro. So overall, this is a great way to start your game. Let's see if this trend continues. Raccoon City. Alright, time to talk about the best level in the whole game. Yeah, you know what it's time for. Where do I start? I guess I can start with what makes the RE games so replayable. 2 words. Lockpick and bolt cutters. Shit, is that 2 words? You see, at certain parts of the section you'll be given lockpicks and bolt cutters. The bolt cutters earlier on and the lockpicks near the end. There are multiple places and items that can be unlocked through the lockpick and bolt cutters, making the player go back to unlock things and for extra items. Hell, if you collect all the gems, you get a new hip pouch, rewarding the player for exploring. But by far the best part is Jaws, but I'll get to that later. But probably one of my favorite things about this section is Raccoon City itself. It has a lot of personality to it. To the giant head, to the infested swarm, Raccoon City has a lot of great diversity and range that makes it so enjoyable to explore. I wish the rest of the game was like this, but I'll discuss that for later on. You know the drill at this point. In conclusion, Raccoon City is a great section of the game. In fact, this is where the demo takes place, and for a lot of people, this was a good first impression. Little did they know what the rest of the game would be.
The section that's playable in the demo was literally the funnest part of this entire game. I'm not even kidding.
Sewers. Dear God, I hate this section. Every bit in my bones burns of hatred for this one section of the game. There is nothing redeeming about this section at all. It's pointless and it does nothing but waste the player's time. I hate it and I think it should die. Okay, so I probably need to explain why I hate this, instead of just getting angry. So let me explain what the map layout goes like. You have 2 pathways. I know, real complex. A real big brain moment. One of which is a safe room, and the other is just a bunch of shit. Yeah, that's what I'm calling it. The problem with this design, that it makes you go back to the safe room again and again. Just because one asshole decided to make the battery pack, that's necessary by the way, take up 2 spaces in your inventory. Thanks. Combine that with enemies that take super long to kill, either because of their health or their long death animation that you can't even run by because of fire. You have the perfect ingredients for a terrible level. And the worst part is that a lot of these later levels are like this, linear and poor replay value. I doubt you'll find a single person that likes playing this level. The only praise I can give to this section is that it's short. Overall, this mission is shit to the highest degree, and should be treated as such. Too bad there was no sewer levels in RE2. Oh wait, there was! And it was way better. Not only was it more complex, but it actually gave a shit about making it look interesting, like the weird corpses in the chess puzzle. What does this sewer section have? Overgrown chickens? But let's move on before my brain explodes.
Is Doom Eternal better? Yes.
Oh, I'm definitely burning this close.
It's not even a contest. Doom Eternal's way better than this. I feel that way already, and I haven't even, I'm not even halfway through this game.
police station. And the mini sections are pretty action-packed, but it's fine. It has its problems, but I'll get to it later. I know you're tired of hearing that, because I'm tired of saying it. The reason why I'm bringing this up is that there's a part where you get to see the gun shop again from RE2, and the police station as well. When I'm addressing the police station, I'm talking about the police station and the gun shop area. Cool? Cool.
I can't wait for people to legitimately complain about this game and say like, oh, they just reused the fucking assets.
Believe it or not, but this is one thing I disagree with Mark on. I know, right? But as always, you're welcome to disagree with me. You're welcome to this channel no matter what you think. But I think this is a bad argument. Let me explain why it's bad in this instance. First, the reason why people like it returning is because it gives them a soft and smoothing feeling of warmth. Anytime we feel nostalgic, it gives us a nice feeling of something good in your brain. But when you strip it away, there's nothing there. It's just a feeling to make you feel good. But that's it. It's just a feeling. And this leads to my second point. What's different or added from RE2 to RE3? I swear I can count it on my hand. I, personally, think the reason to go back to something is to build upon it. I mean, that's the whole reason this remake exists, right? Thinking about it, it's pretty ironic. The game that wants to change a ton when it comes to the original game, yet changes near nothing when it comes to the police station from RE2. Point being, this serves no other reason to be here except for fan service. I do think fan service can be a good thing. I just think in this situation, I think it's poorly used or could have been done better. Hopefully I've given proper reasoning as to why I think it's straight up copying something for a feeling is poor or bad. Let me clarify it first. I did like the return to the police station at first, but re-examining it in its purest form is hollow. But it can't get any worse, right? Right? Oh god.
You know what? I'm actually really hoping that the later half of this game actually gets way better.
Hospital. Time to talk about a section that I'm pretty conflicted on. The hospital, some people say, is great, and one of the better sections of the game. Personally, I disagree. But first, what does it have going for it? Well, one of its positives is that the level design is well built, having a lot of curves and sharp turns, which adds complexity to the section as a whole, making it hard to travel through at first glance. This itself isn't what makes it good. It isn't the extra areas and locked doors providing more pathways, while good isn't the best part. But the best part is letting Jill go back to the hospital to get extra goodies that only Jill can unlock. Hell, that's how you get the lightning hawk. But by far, I still have one big problem with this section. In fact, it's something that I share with nearly all the sections. The one thing. Realism. Okay, hear me out. A lot of reasons why these sections are not interesting is because we've seen them before. Wow, the sewers look like generic sewers. Wow, the hospital looks like a generic hospital. And so on. The exception to this is Raccoon City, which is why I want more from it in this game, rather than it being one section. Because that's far more interesting and better to look at than, wow, hospital, wow. And I don't care about how much you throw blood all over the walls and the floors. It doesn't change the fact that it's an eyesore to look at, where all the worst elements of the sections come together in one level, called the lab level. The section is painfully linear, and at best you have one or two pathways. And then you have the color scheme that's just white. Everything is just white. I can't even fathom how stupid this is. It shows a complete lack of effort by the creator's part. And the worst part is that they do the same thing with the battery pack thing. Again, and this time it takes up 3 spaces. Other than the brief test tubes, there's nothing going for this level. And if we play the let's compare it to RE2 game, the police station had a lot more personality than this. Remember how each door consumed you with mystery and curiosity, making the police station feel as if it had unlimited secrets and places to explore? Adding to not only the horror but encouraging the player for exploration? Ah, yes, the good old days. Less than a year ago. And again, it's not like I hold RE2 in a high regard, it's just everything this game does, RE2 does better. Realism's fault. I'm going to come out of the closet here. I'm an anti-realist when it comes to video games. First, let me clarify by what I mean by that. Obviously things like human people and things are fine. I just think the design idea to make it realistic is a stupid one. Like I said, I don't want everything to be Sonic the Hedgehog. I just believe that it shouldn't be the main focus. Let me take an example. Let's take Spider-Man PS4. I remember Sphere Hunter, which I'll get to her later down the road, saying along the lines of, "The open world is nearly identical to New York," in her review. Why would you want that in your game? It's already in real life. There's no point in copying it when you could create something new. And that's why Sunset Overdrive will always be better than Spider-Man PS4, due to its environments being far more creative and colorful. Oh god, where was I? Oh yeah. Point is, I think a lot of problems with these sections is that they used realism over creativity. That too, and my god, are the levels linear. I can't possibly stress this enough. The terrible and the lack of replayability that's in most of these levels. The best part is that the concept art focuses a lot on Raccoon City, and in the original, as I'm told, a lot of time took place in Raccoon City. So what happened? And that's just one of the reasons why this game is so disappointing, is that the game starts off strong, so strong in the first hour, but completely falls apart in the rest of the game. But this is one reason, and there are many, many more to cover. Hopefully you enjoyed, and of course the next one should be coming soon, so subscribe to be notified when it drops. And just watching, or just watching, anything helps really. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!